this is, let's see here,
That's mine.
one of Sarah's. Who is this player? Oh, Carson Wentz. Okay. I'm not. Well, aren't their jerseys usually like teal color?
Yeah,
He's a quarterback. He's protected.
well,
No, 'cause
but
he's injured
he's
still,
also injured.
Okay. I was like, why is he in red?
It's like
That's
the-
what threw me
A
off.
red shirt,
It's
but
not that
it's
I'm
of the pros.
I know. I'm sorry, Brandon. Yes, I had to ask. It was the red shirt. It threw me off. I'm not that much of a sports fan. I barely am aware, but usually it's like
It's okay.
turquoise. So, okay. Anyway, Sarah's page for the forum here. And let's see if I can make it. No, that is not what I wanted.
I just need to click, like, there.
There we go. All right. Okay. See, Marcy didn't know either that you're not supposed to hit them if they're wearing red. No. Okay. Very nice looking page. I like how the red pops out. I can't stand this music anymore, so I'm going to just hang up on the conference call if you guys are all listening through the computer. We'll just be done with that. Okay. All right. So, nice work, Sarah. Oh, and I've started right in the middle of the group again here. So, here is one from Becca for Duluth. And I really liked this page. The main black and white photo is really striking, but then the way that she blurred the Oscar here coming into focus, I thought was really effective. That's a great treatment. So, very nice work, Becca. See if we can see Anthony's page. This one's for Purim, page 1 for Purim that Anthony did. And there's the rest of it. Nice headline, nice photo treatment. That's a great photo. And we don't see that quite as often with Purim, so very nice work, Anthony. It's really striking. This is one that Megan DeHonick did. It was a special section page for Purim as well. And, you know, not a lot of space to work with, but she did a great job with the colors, with the yellow jackets, the Purim yellow jackets. So she had a pair of pages that she used this yellow fade on, and I thought it really worked well. So nice work, Megan. I apologize for the slow computer here. Gosh. Alright, we'll see if, well, let me see if I can just get it to refresh here. There we go. This is one of Megan DeHonick's as well, a page for the forum. And nice photos there. A nice treatment, just focusing in on the subjects of the photos there. Nice work, Megan. Let's see, this one is one of Lucas's, and this is for the forum as well, for a travel page. Here's one on space camp, and this, again, just about a half page that he had to work with, but put some effort into it. Really nice photos with the circles. Really plays up all of those photos. So nice work with this. Like that. And also notice how he numbered the photos so he didn't have to garble up the design with cut lines next to each one. So he just numbered them all and put the cut lines all in one chunk, which worked really well there. And there's that page that Sarah did. Here we've got one from Grand Forks. This is one of Wayne's. Oh, this was one that Wayne did the CP graphic, and I'm sorry, I've forgotten. I think it probably was Tanner who did the rest of that page here. But Wayne was asked to do a centerpiece graphic, just facts about Labor Day, so this is what he worked on last week for them. So nice work, Wayne. Pulled it all together nicely. This is one of Tanner's for Grand Forks. Nice headline. There we can see it all. And nice work. You know, sugar beets are not super photogenic, but he made that photo work really well as a centerpiece. So nice work, Tanner. Here we've got one for Hastings from Paula. And a nice photo package. It looks like she added some artwork. I'm not sure if she created that herself or if that was some that she found or was given. Let's see here. If she gave herself any credit. She didn't, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if she had created it herself. So, great colors. Love the autumn leaves and how she pulled that into the headline as well. So, very nice. Oh, there's a Hastings page that we can't see. Here's one from Angie for the Mitchell paper. And let's see if I can. Go. It's a really interesting vantage point of that photo. And nicely done photo or CP there. It works really well. Nice work, Angie. Got one from Brandon, and this is for also for Mitchell, and that was just a great photo. This rodeo photo is fantastic and great headline. I don't know if that's Brandon's or if it was given to him, but very nice play of the headline. Works really well. Nice job, Brandon. Got one of Cindy Duffy's here, so as soon as it loads. Oh, Brandon says believes it was provided, so. Well, nice play of the headline, even if it wasn't your text. Here's one from South Washington County Bulletin. And nice use of the yellow and lemons in this lemonade day. She pulled that yellow throughout the centerpiece and tucked in the headline behind this little guy's head. Really nice work. Good job, Cynthia. Here's a Wilmer page from Jenny. I thought the red in this was really nice. She pulled out some of the use the red frames to make some of these photos pop out just a little bit more for the centerpiece photo package. Nice work, Jenny. Here we've got one from Brainerd from Amy, and awesome mural that they were working on here. And really a different centerpiece treatment. We've got the photo really taking up almost the entire top half of the page, and then she tucked the story right down the middle, which is really unusual, but I think it's really effective in this instance. I don't think it would work very often, but with the color behind the story tying into the colors of the mural, I think that works really well for this one. So nice work, Amy. And we've got another Brainerd page. This one's from Bob. And Bob was saying that this was his favorite out of the two that he submitted this week because of the black and white photo, but and black and white page. I suspect, well, I'm sure that this entire thing ran in black and white. The color only showed up online, but really nice and striking images there, and a nice treatment of the cutout of the football player. So nice work, Bob. Here's one of Jackie's for Dickinson. And let's see. Oh, this one I really enjoyed. The water, the bubbles in the water droplets here in this dog pool party here. I know a lot of pools around here in Fargo to let the dogs have a pool party the day after the pool's closed for people, so I suspect that's what was going on in Dickinson. So nice work, Jackie. And here's one from Cindy Gilster, and that is really nice package here, remembrance of a DNR officer, and nice down page element as well. It's always nice to play things up really nice and big for the centerpiece, but it's also really nice when you get to see something a little special on the secondary stories as well. So nice work, Cindy. All right. So, I apologize for the ones that would not load. I don't know what occasionally throws those off. But, so we missed a few of the pages here, so. So just a couple of things here that I wanted to go through with you all while we're all together. Let's see. So, Jamestown makes the change to their online only Monday paper beginning this Sunday night for Monday's publication. So they will no longer have a Monday printed paper, it will be online only. We're going to see a series of these coming up this month. We've got Jamestown this coming Monday. I believe we've got 2 coming on the 17th and another one on the 24th, or I think Bemidji is the 25th actually, because they haven't had a Monday paper, so they will have an online only Tuesday paper. So I don't remember who goes on the 17th, but this one is going to be a lot less complicated than Grand Forks was, because we don't have the changes in deadlines like we did with Grand Forks, where we had to move up the deadlines so much earlier. So really, there's not going to be a lot of changes that we're going to see, or honestly, really the newsroom is going to see. There may be a little bit of differences in the booking on their Monday papers, but they're going to continue having an editorial page. They will have the same deadline. It's just when we hit approve and page track, it's going to dump into a folder where Olive can grab it from, rather than the press printing out plates for it. So it should not be any big hassle with that one. So fingers crossed that I did not just jinx us. But I think we'll see the rest of these go pretty smoothly after the Grand Forks. And Grand Forks honestly went quite well. I think kudos to especially Cole and Tanner, and I believe Anthony has done a lot of their pages since the changes. So congratulations to all of you, and especially to the Grand Forks Herald newsroom for preparing for 2 weeks before they went live with their early deadlines to get themselves ready for it, so that it was not a complete disaster the first night or the first week. We ran into some problems with Olive, an active paper, that they didn't update things a couple of nights like they were supposed to, but other than that, and that was not on anybody on our teams, that was not our fault. So really everything else has gone quite well. So thank you to all of you who have been dealing with Grand Forks, and also to Emma and Joe who are watching over things at nights. Thank you to you guys as well for making sure everything was going smoothly. M&A is coming up. The M&A contest entries are coming up. Roberta sent out a note to her team and had some really good information, so I think I will pass that along to the rest of you as well, because she had some additional information other than just the super basic stuff that I sent out to you this afternoon with just the link. Two things are, remember that you can only enter once in each category, and particularly for the design portfolio, which is what most of us will be entering, all of those entries have to be from the same newspaper. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to just take the best of our work no matter what paper they're from, so you're going to have to pull everything from one paper. And that design portfolio entry, you can put up to 8 of your pieces of work into that one entry. So gather those dates, those PDFs together, send them to the Design Hub manager's email, and we will take care of gathering them all up and making sure that they get entered. The categories that we'll be entering, like I said, the design portfolio is the big one. There might be something, some of you may have something that would work for the graphics entries. And there was one other one that Roberta mentioned in her email. I have not looked super closely through those entries. There are some that you'll want to be focusing on the ones that are entries for individuals rather than newspapers, because the newspapers will be entering like for typography and design, where they're gathering a lot of the entries for those that they'll put in. And technically we'll be entering under those newspapers because I believe they all need to be sent together. But we will coordinate with the editors to make sure that those entries get in. So I believe I want to say that I set September 17th as the deadline to enter everything, or to get it to us, because the entries need to be in by the 30th. And I'll make sure of what that date was. they have to be in by the 30th, and we wanna make sure that we have time to go through all of the entries, make sure that everything looks like it's in order, and then get that off to the editors and make sure that they have, that they've got time to, get those things together, so it goes in with their entries as well, so, and yep, Marcy said for the design portfolio, it's 10 pages max, yep. So, and like I said, those 10 pages all do need to be from one newspaper, so. So yeah, if you have questions, reach out to we hub managers and we will try to answer them or find answers for you. And remember, and I'll put this in the email, all of those pages that you guys send us for kudos, we save those throughout the year, so we have folders full of every page that you've sent us, so you can that will help narrow it down a ton, so you can see, you know, go through what you felt as you were going through the year, what you felt was your best work of the year, and they all have the newspaper names and everything, so you'll be able to see quickly, you know, what papers you maybe have the most pages from that you really like, so it should help you narrow things down. Because I know that, you know, when I used to do these entries, like, it's not like for the reporters in Olive where they can just scan their byline and look for all of their stories that they wrote for the last year. There's no way for us to do that in Page Track or Active Paper, so it's super unwieldy to attempt to just scan through Active Paper, Olive, trying to see what pages you designed and which ones you liked. And especially now that we're part of the hub, there's, you know, we're working on a zillion different papers and pages, so it'd be a nightmare in that respect. So use those folders that we've got set up for you guys. Last thing is just a little bit more, you know, we've talked a couple of times recently about page flow, and I'm gonna hit it again. We're still just seeing sometimes a lot of pages all coming in at the same time at the end of the night, and just a reminder that, you know, it takes really, you know, we've got those deadlines set, you know, say it's that deadline is at 11, you really need to have those pages in a minimum of 10 minutes early, so that the copy editors have a little bit of time to at least just hit those headlines and cut lines, jumps. But it's pretty unrealistic for you to drop in, you know, 6 or 7 of those pages for them to look at all at the same time. So really be trying to get the pages out throughout the night, throughout your shifts, both day and night shifts, so that you're not dumping a bunch in at the same time. Also remember, it takes 8 to 10 minutes per plate for a page to be plated. So if it's a black plate, that page is gonna take 8 to 10 minutes just to get through the rip to the plate. Color pages, you're talking, that's times 4. So it could take up to 40 minutes to get a color page out after we've sent it. So if you know, we've got some of that time built in to our deadlines, but if you're sending a couple of color pages at the end, we're talking, you know, that press isn't gonna start for an hour and a half after those pages have been sent. So please keep that in mind. We really need to keep that on our minds as we're working through the night. Try and get those early pages out early. You know, if you've got an editorial page or a business page or a features page or something that the content is in, get it done, send it off, and get rid of it. Clear it from your queue, clear it from your mind, move on. Sometimes it may mean hopping around some too. I think some of us, you know, especially before we started the hub, I wanted to work on a page and finish that page before I moved on to another one. I hated, you know, just doing parts of pages, and we just don't have that luxury anymore. We have to be able to put the content on that we've got, and it might mean you know, that mid-shift you're switching from news to sports and then coming back to news depending on your deadlines, or vice versa. So, like I said, you know, you may not be able to work through and finish a chunk at a time. You might have to be hopping around, and so don't be afraid to do that. Try not to, if you can. You know, I know some papers have devoted jump pages, so you're only tying up a couple of pages. Some of them, you put your jumps anywhere. You know, Park Rapids, when I work on them, they don't devote a jump page, so I could have 4 or 5 pages that I've got all tied up for because of jumps from A1. So it depends on the paper that you're working on and what your flow is, what your deadlines are, but really try to keep things moving so that we're not getting those backlogs at the end of the night. So, oh, one last thing is that we have a new designer starting in a little over 2 weeks. He is familiar to some of us. Tim Albrecht, who used to be part of the Hub, he worked out of the Grand Forks office and left the Hub about a year ago, and worked for Grand Forks for a little while longer after that, doing some special sections work for them. He's been working at a magazine up until recently, and so we are excited to be getting him back. It's always nice to bring somebody back who has experience and knows a little bit about how things work here, and he's eager to get back to designing. He's been doing a lot of writing and says that he misses the design work, so we're excited to get him back on board. His first date is going to be September 24th. It's a Monday. And so he'll come down to Fargo for a couple of days to work kind of one-on-one with us here. Just get back into the swing of things with Page Track and any updates we've made in the last year. You know, there have been a few. And then he'll work a few nights with Cole and Tanner in Grand Forks, and then he'll shift into his day shift and he'll be working out of the Grand Forks office. So very excited to have Tim back soon. So I think that is about it. Is there anybody that has any questions that they want to throw in the group chat there before we sign off for the day? Not seeing anybody. Okay. All right. Well, then we will all get back to work. Thank you all for joining in.